and welcome to A&E TV. Today we're joined by Rumana Nazim, CEO and founder of The Edit. Good morning, Rumana.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
No worries, I'm happy to be here.
Good, and to kick things off, can you talk us through your morning routine?
Okay, well, I'm not really a morning person, and if I didn't have work, I probably wouldn't get out of bed for ages. But I essentially wake up in the morning at about 7 o'clock. Start off by checking my emails and checking my messages just to see on what I've missed. My husband's usually leaving for work around that time, so we'll have a little chat, talk about our day, and then I have an extensive skincare regime that I do. So get into the shower, do my entire skincare routine, get dressed, and I usually am in such a rush I don't have time for breakfast, so I'm out the door within like 45 minutes of waking up.
Okay, cool. And can you tell me a little bit about how The Edit came about?
So I'm originally a lawyer, and I was a lawyer for 7.5 years at a multinational company. And while I really loved what I was doing, and I still love being a lawyer, I felt like it was just time for me to add something new to the retail landscape of the UAE. Keeping in mind that we have a very strong mall culture over here, I felt like there wasn't really something where, like a true concept store. There are a couple that are doing great. But what I had in mind was a space where you could shop and you could have a coffee or a tea. You could just hang out. You could visit exhibitions, art exhibitions, pop-ups. We also have talks and workshops. So what I wanted to do, it has slowly been building where I wanted to create a space that encapsulated all of these things in one location. Okay. So yeah, it just came to me. It came to me a little while ago. And I didn't actually think that it would end up with me leaving my job as a lawyer and doing this full time, but life takes, life has lots of funny little turns. So, yeah.
And why do you think it's important to have a physical space rather than just like an online platform?
Right. So the physical store is the entire essence of The Edit. Yeah. You have to go in there to really it's a really zen space. So to walk in a space where you can meet people, where you can interact. And what I want to do is build a community, which obviously is harder to do once it's online. That face-to-face interaction doesn't really exist. Yeah. Plus, I feel like in an age where everything is digitalized, and that's not to say that we're not going digital, we are. But just to have a physical location where you can touch and look and smell and see and have that firsthand experience is quite rare. Also, for me to create a concept store, a physical location is integral.
Okay, and what excites you the most about what you do?
I mean, the opportunities are endless. I feel like there's so much white space in Dubai. People are really hungry. People are extremely adventurous. They want new concepts. And with a platform like the one that I have at The Edit, it's, there's just so much to do. So we're now looking at expanding into interiors, into kids, home. I also want to have more interesting workshops and seminars and talks on female empowerment, on startups, technology, sustainability. So it's not just a retail store. Yeah. It's so much more than just that. And that's really exciting.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think has been the biggest achievement you've had so far?
Launching against all odds. Yeah. I mean, it's, when you're a lawyer, it's hard to imagine doing something like this. So for me, that was definitely actually like putting my dreams and my visions into reality. It was, I think pretty incredible. Okay,
and what about the biggest challenge that you faced?
The same thing. I mean, the biggest challenge for me has been turning that vision into reality, because it was all just in my mind, and considering the fact that I didn't have much except for where my passions were. I didn't have much exposure to how it actually works from a business point of view. So that was a really tough challenge. I also launched in May last year, so during Ramadan, which was great in hindsight, because you start off during a month where things are in general slower, and it gives you a lot more strength to learn how to deal with your business. Yeah.
And you can kind of tweak things a little bit before the busy months come.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Okay, and what about what you still want to achieve with the platform?
So much. I mean, if I told you, I'd have to kill you. There's, there, like I was saying earlier, just branching out. I want to create it into more of a group and offer more. So what we like to do is listen to our customer and hear her feedback. I think going forward with like more talks, I want to set up a proper contemporary art program, bring in more brands, expand regionally, set up our digital, like our website. Okay. There's a lot more to do.
Okay, and who is the person that inspires you the most?
I think it's hard to have one single person inspires you. I mean, don't we draw inspiration from everyone and everywhere? I mean, I can obviously say this, my dad, of course, my husband, people all around me, like my nearest and dearest. I find people really inspiring in so many different ways, but maybe also myself. I like drawing inspiration from myself and where I've come from. I don't know if that sounds obnoxious, but like, I mean, there's such incredible people all around me. I can't pick just one person, but.
Okay. Yeah. And what are the professional and personal mottos that you live your life by? So
when it comes to personal and professional mottos, I feel like cliches are cliches because they're true. Hard work. It's just as simple as that. There's, if you work hard and enjoy what you're doing, you're bound to be successful. But, putting in the time, putting in the hours, even in your personal life, things don't come easily. Everything worth it takes time and effort.
Yeah. Okay. And what would you tell yourself 10 years from now?
I don't really know. I'd say just carry on doing what I'm doing, and there are phases, and there's, the thing with entrepreneurs' life is you start off and you're like, okay, this is great. And then you go through peaks and troughs. Yeah. So just to have faith and continue going on, and
Okay. And what about if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
I actually think I don't think my younger self needs any more advice than she had already gotten. I'm really happy with the way my career has panned out. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So,
okay, great. And how would you describe your personal style?
My personal style? I like a very feminine look with aspects of masculinity. So, for example, I love suits. I love wearing suits, but I may pair it with a crop top or with like a silk blouse. I love dresses, as you can see. I mean, it's ever evolving. I'd say it's a bit feminine, polished with a bit of a masculine edge.
Okay. And what do you say no to?
Systemic patriarchy. Okay. I say no to, I'm a massive feminist, so I'd say no to sexism against women. I believe in feminism and a modern look on feminism, so not German Greer's burning bra type of feminism, but a feminism which gives equal opportunity to men and to women, which doesn't value one over the other, which doesn't take away from the other. So I'd say I say no to anything that discriminates socially, politically, and economically against women and also against men.
Okay. And are you reading a book at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think lately I used to read all the time, and I haven't had the time to read much. I'm currently in between a few books. So I'm reading Salman Rushdie's The Golden House. And I'm also reading Refuge, which is a book that it's a very interesting book, written by Alexandra Betts and Paul Collier. And they are basically looking at how our current, Europe is looking at their second largest refugee crisis since World War II, or their largest since World War II, and about how even though it's a massive issue, the systems in place don't deal with displaced people appropriately enough.
Okay.
It's a very interesting read.
Okay. And for our final question, can you tell me, how would you like the world to remember you?
I'd say I don't even know. I hope that's a really, really long time away from now. I'd say somebody who went after what she wanted, even if it wasn't the norm and even if it wasn't what necessarily seemed feasible. But that did it with kindness. I believe in social responsibility and doing it with a smile on your face.
Okay, perfect. Rumana, thank you so much for joining us. It's been our pleasure. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.